Ever kind of feel like, you climb one mountain and suddenly you're at the bottom of a whole other one?
Oh, tell me about it. That back to square one feeling.
Exactly. And in Nat's case, it's like literal mountain climbing in the Himalayas followed by, wait for it, a career jump to Salesforce.
Yeah, quite the parallel, right? And, what struck me about Anant's writing, we're diving into two of his blog posts here.
Right. One about this intense trek he did, and the other one totally different, like his take on America after being away for years.
Exactly. But both get at this idea of, well, I don't know, maybe not finding yourself, but definitely questioning yourself along the way.
And he really doesn't hold back. I mean, he describes this 80-kilometer trek through Sikkim, like you can practically feel the blisters forming just reading it. But then, right in the middle of all that, he says, the trek itself was the prize that I have earned. What'd you make of that line?
Ooh, that one got me too. It's like, yeah, we're all about the destination, right? The summit, the corner office, whatever. But are we actually present for the journey?
It's like he's saying, hold on, the struggle is part of the point. And that's kind of what I got from his whole thing about rediscovering America, too.
Right. Like coming back after 7 years. It's not just, oh, America's changed. He's changed too.
Totally. He even compares it to finding, like, an old T-shirt, way back in your drawer. Familiar, but different.
And those details he picks up on, the healthcare system, all these Indian professionals now. Like even the damn sunsets seem different to him now.
Yeah. It's like he's seeing everything with new eyes.
Yeah.
And maybe not always loving what he sees. There's that part where he talks about losing that, youthful naivete.
The bittersweet price of experience, right?
For sure. Remember that bit where he's like, he actually shudders thinking about how he used to be all bright-eyed on his first flight to America.
Yeah, yeah. And he connects that directly to starting out at Microsoft, like fresh out of grad school, all that potential.
And now, well, let's just say years of corporate life, they kind of do a number on you.
Which makes you wonder, right, how much of what we experience is actually like external versus what's going on in our own heads.
100%. And that's what I'm curious about with the Salesforce thing.
Oh, yeah. Big move.
Is he bringing all this baggage, in a good way, all this self-awareness to this new job? Especially because, let's not forget, he calls himself a paid coolie at Salesforce. What's that about?
Ooh, loaded phrase right there. We're going to have to unpack that one.
It's like he's in on the joke, right? Calling himself a paid coolie, but at the same time kind of acknowledging the whole corporate game.
Oh, absolutely. He's not shying away from it. More like, yeah, I see you, corporate America, but I'm choosing this.
And maybe that's the difference this time around, yeah. It's like that Himalayan trek, not just about the destination, it's the whole...
the journey. The whole messy, sweaty, exhausting journey.
Bingo. And what's interesting? He mentions specifically choosing Sikkim for this trek.
Right, like it wasn't random. It was on his radar.
Totally. And he even compares Sikkim being part of India, but also, like, its own thing. Yeah. He compares that to his whole back and forth with America, actually.
Oh, I see what you're getting at, like drawn to it, but...
With his eyes wide open this time.
Exactly. And, he really homes in on the healthcare system. Like, that throws him for a loop.
Big time. It's almost like he's peeled back a layer, noticing things he maybe didn't before.
It's like that fresh perspective you get when you've been away, right?
Totally. And he's picking up on those smaller details. Like, remember that bit about the juvenile antics?
Oh, yeah. And then right after, he's waxing poetic about the Pacific sunsets. It's kind of wild, the range.
Right. But that's the thing. He ties those sunsets back to his own, like, internal clock, how he sees time now.
It's like those sunsets aren't just sunsets anymore. They're reminders of, well, everything. Getting older, changing perspectives.
And maybe a little bit of that, I don't know, disillusionment that creeps in.
It's inevitable, isn't it? We experience more, learn more, and sometimes that means that youthful wonder, it fades a bit.
It's like a trade-off, right? You get experience, but lose a little bit of that, I don't know, sparkle. And that's got to be relatable for a lot of people.
Totally. But I think recognizing that loss, naming it, that's the first step to maybe, I don't know, reframing it. Like, it's not about getting that sparkle back, but finding new ways to be engaged, to be surprised by the world.
It's wild to me that he uses that phrase, paid coolie, right after those deep thoughts about, like, the Himalayas and America.
Yeah, he's tying it all together, isn't he?
Totally. Like, those experiences, they're not just, like, separate things. They've given him this whole new perspective on, well, everything, even Salesforce.
It's almost as if he's saying, all right, corporate world, I'm back. But this time, I'm watching you.
Right. And that makes you wonder, can he actually pull this off? I mean, Salesforce is all about like, go, 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 hit those targets. Can he really bring his whole, I don't know, introspective self to that world?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Can you be both? Ambitious, driven, but also like deeply aware of the whole maybe kind of messed up system you're part of?
And honestly, that's something we can all probably relate to. Like, no matter what you do, you're always trying to find that balance. Chasing success, but also staying true to, I don't know,
Yeah,
yourself.
because the definition of success, it's like always shifting, isn't it?
Totally.
Hmm.
And maybe what Anantha's showing us is that it doesn't have to be this either or thing. Like maybe you can find a way to be successful, at least by your own definition, without like losing your soul in the process.
And maybe, just maybe, part of that is holding on to that little bit of wonder, that curiosity, even when things get tough, even when you're knee-deep in it all. So as you're navigating your own path, think about this. What does it truly mean for you to earn it? What journey will lead you to a destination that feels real, fulfilling, authentically you? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.